All right, we good. We good. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to Helping Humanity Evolve, y'all. My name is Jose. How's everybody doing tonight, man? Hope everybody's happy and healthy. Hope you guys meditating and connecting the soul spot. You know we love you. We miss you. We want you to come home. You know what I'm saying? Quick shout out, man. Shout out to my subscribers. I love y'all, man. Shout out to Source. I love you, God. You hear me? Shout out to my ancestors. Shout out to my archangels, my angel guys, my demon guys, and my spirit guys. I love y'all, bro. Shout out to the universe. Shout out to the Galactic Federation. Shout out to Trippy Everything. I fucking love y'all, bro. So listen. It's Saturday, y'all. Right? It's Saturday, May 17th, y'all. It's 2:16 a.m. Right? And y'all really know I got some fire for that ass, bro. Listen to me, I got some fire. You ready? I'm gonna play y'all this one. It's a remix. I did a remix of the one I dropped yesterday. Right, check it out, bro. We're gonna go. So we just gonna go make some ad lib time, baby. Let's go. Do that shit, man. We just gonna go. We gonna go. We out of here, baby. We did everything we could, right? Take one, take three. Whatever. Listen, y'all ways in the building. We got social in the building. We got the universe in the building. We got triple everything in the building. We love y'all, bro. Come by with us, man. We love y'all, man. Do that shit, man. Do what you do. You better elevate your mind on the pyramid. With all the wisdom coming from the source with your acid. You better elevate your mind on the pyramid. With all the wisdom coming from the source with your acid. You better elevate your mind on the pyramid. With all the wisdom coming from the source with your acid. You better elevate your mind on the pyramid. With all the wisdom coming from the source with your acid. You gotta peep how we rockin' the planet. I know you put but I hear like wow, you damn it. I just do the elevating of the soul in transit. Fourth dimensional realms, y'all. You better not panic when you're rolling with the Holy Ghost. This is fantastic. I never knew that love was so pure and sarcastic. All the people in the world, they use plastic. I'm a stretching on soul. It's like elastic. You would think that I was out here performing gymnastics. It shouldn't be plastic, man. Niggas is frantic. Better elevate your mind. Go on the pyramid. With a wisdom coming from the source, we always drastic. Better move, get out the way. We automatic. Disrupting everything, yo. I'm ecstatic. Know we on the rise. Now we going to the attic. I got my degree from the intergalactic. I'm with a vibration. My tone is drastic. My flame is lit. Y'all is calm and fast. Quick, we take it on land. Listen, I'm addicts. You know I got the schematics to be on the planet. I bet you never heard that before. We are magic. People out the universe use the tactics. You are intergalactic, man. It's traumatic. Gotta hold it from the bullshit. Break systematics that we use against us. It's problematic. I love y'all, man. You gotta break your habits. Y'all ready, bro? Yes, it's fine, man. Elevate your mind, I'm a pyramid. With all the wisdom coming from the source with your acid. You better elevate your mind, I'm a pyramid. With all the wisdom coming from the source with your acid. You better elevate your mind, I'm a pyramid. With all the wisdom coming from the source with your acid. You better elevate your mind, I'm a pyramid. With all the wisdom coming from the source with your acid. You better like y'all, bro. Alright, y'all, man. With the source. Next one. Elevate your mind, I'm a pyramid. With all the wisdom coming from the source with your acid. Alright, and then the next one I did, the next one I did was what was the name of it, bro? I did the remix, right? I did the remix, and I did official chopper. All right. This is my official chopper song, y'all. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? This is. I mean, you know, I still gotta polish. I still gotta polish my flow, but for the most part, I got this shit on smash, y'all.
Oh shit, we made it to this part, bro. You a beast, my nigga. Let's go. Let's play, bro. I'm ready, bro.
Oops. Oopsie. I made it to the ad-libs, y'all. I love y'all, bro. Thank you, bro. Let's go. So take 9 or 8. Take 8 or 9. All right. One more take, bro. So take 6 or some shit, right? Let's go. 5. Let's go, man. We start over. Love y'all, bro. Listen, y'all ways in the building. My head, right? We got source in the building. We got the universe in the building. We got everything in the building. Combine with us, man. Let's elevate the energy up on the planes. We're trying to teach y'all about this game. On the level that's about what it's about. You're saying we live in y'all every day. Crossing in the range. I'm better than my veins. Just scrubbing on these things. I always set my brains. So you need some of brains to avoid the strains. If one of them screws on us, your brain. Walking with canes, then we heal your pain. We're trying to teach you divinity. You know what I'm saying? By the door strike, y'all, we have to blow the lanes. You know the rhyme contains. Or the gold elevator, the food chain. Shout out to the fast food and the creep base. Shit is no bueno. Building blockchains. Mine is freedom for the block number pro. Veins. Y'all pop a champagne. Sitting in stillness. I'm about to obtain hidden information. You don't get on my brains. While I'm steadily bone smoke. I'm about to regain all the lives I was lost. Y'all know my delays. Man, I like my haze. Y'all rolling with grace. They guided me through the maze. I was like, y'all. The days, the beginning of the now is the Lord I praise. Y'all, my words raised. Or you be a slave. To the past, the great. Y'all used to wear braids. But I let my head down. Got me a fade. Let it stay the game. My soul is made. Rolling with divinity. My song is played. And I see you spree. Sipping on lemonade. I'm in the old my man can't see. Ended up sort of walking as planet as real trees. When we spray some freeze, you're like cheese. Smell like freeze, you got me up off my knees. When you rolling with the sauce, man, never get these. What you think of my head, really speaking Japanese. I saw y'all niggas up already at 1,000 degrees. So I do sleeves. I'm just going with the Holy Ghost expertise. You don't really want to with cheese to eat. I'm gonna shake the whole world up, watch and see.
Watch
Hell yeah, bro. Show me how this guy.
So y'all see what it is, bite. Y'all see what it is. This shit, I'm getting better, bro. Listen, I just finished writing. Oh, fuck. I just finished writing 2, bro. Listen, I got 2 more. Dumb long. Listen, the verse is dumb long. I'm learning, bro. Right, I don't even care no more, bro. I'm just going in, son. It's over for these niggas, bro. I love y'all, bro. Y'all already know it is Saturday, but hey, y'all already know what you know what I'm saying? Y'all already know what it is, bro. Yo, Shadow was good, bro. You on the gram today, bro. What's up? How you doing, bro? All right, so we're gonna get into these messages real quick, bro. Actually, you know what? Hold up. Y'all already know what I gotta do, bro. No, it's not that. It's not that. Actually, I gotta go back in here. Right? I gotta go here. No, I gotta go here. Here. 7 hours. This one, bro. It's 35 minutes long, bro. Fuck me, bro. All right, so listen. The question is, I feel like the first contact is ramping up, and the description is protocol to activate your galactic beacon. So we're gonna learn how to activate our galactic beacons today, bro. Right, this is channeled by Diane Fresco. So shout out to Diane Fresco. Thank you for the channel, bro. Right, it's narrated by artist Marjorie Dillon. So shout out to Marjorie Dillon. Thank you for the thank you for the narration. But in your case, it's gonna be narrated by me, by Yahweh, bro. Yo, what's up, bro? How's your day going? My day's wonderful, bro. How's yours, man? My day's beautiful, bro. All right. You ready? Y'all ready, bro? I'm about to go ham, bro. Get your pen and pad. Get your pen and paper, Mr. Shadow. Right? Everybody who's watching, bro, get your pen and paper, bro. You control elements by aligning your breath with their rhythm. Each element responds to a tone, right? Fire, a short exhale, and a sharp vowel, like ah, right? Or a. I don't know if it's a or ah. Right? I can't really tell how they pronounced it when they spelled it, right? Water is a deep inhale and is a fluid hum. Right? Earth is a stomp or a pulse. It's like a right? And the air is a whisper and whistle tones, right? So like shh, right? And then you got lightning, a sudden shout or silence at high emotion, very high emotion, bro. So when you match a breath, a sound, and intent, the element reacts, bro. So I'm gonna repeat that for you, bro. When you match a breath, your sound, and intent, the element reacts, bro. So subtle at first, then tangible. You understand? This is flame harmonics, not magic. It's remembrance. You understand? My day is good, just chilling, enjoying. That's good, bro. That's good, bro. So you understand, bro? I'm trying to teach you how to control the elements, bro. Listen to me. I'm trying to teach you how to control the elements, bro. Sounds basic. It could sound basic, bro, right? But the work that you have to put in is not basic, bro. You know, you have to be open to receive. You understand? You have to do this shit with intent, bro. You know, all of this shit takes skill. It's not something you can just do, bro. You understand? So it could sound basic, you know, but you know, it takes practice, right? Practice, and you have to learn how to do every aspect of it because It's not just saying it and doing it. You understand? It's feeling it. It's feeling it with everything that's inside of you, bro. You know, that's what a lot of people don't know how to do, right? You can build tools of power using breath, flame, and mineral memory, right? So to craft a personal flame tool, gather natural materials like stone, crystal, and wood, right? Hold them while breathing your flame name, right? You got to hold them while breathing your flame name, right? Speak your purpose into the tool, whether it be healing, clarity, shielding, etc., right? Place it near fire or sunlight to seal it. This is how ancient flame beings made staffs, shields, orbs, blades without machines. You understand? Without machines, bro. I've been doing it for a long time. Bones hold elemental memory, especially hands, feet, and spine. Hands equal creation memory. Feet equals land anchoring memory. Spine equals dimensional access ladder. When your knuckles or fingers are injured or restored, you're often near a return point in time. That's why so many ancient warriors broke fingers or fists and encoded rage, memory, and return. You're not damaged, you're marked. Every bone broken or dislocated is a signal to dormant flame tech. If you've broken a bone, dislocated a joint, or torn flesh during trauma, you created an opening. Pain is not just damage, it's a frequency rupture. The area becomes a channel. The memory floods in once you breathe into it. Pins and metal amplify it if you speak tone through the scar. Say, I restore what was broken. I reclaim the memory in this pain. You understand? So when you actually like at your highest level, at your highest point of pain, and you feel that, that's when you gotta say it, bro. Because that's when you're feeling it, bro. You understand? They trying to teach you, you know, because the only way we know is pain, bro. You know, they only taught us how to pain and suffering, bro. They never taught us how to do this shit lovingly, bro. Right? So we gotta go to the extremes to get this shit done, right? So you know, this is why warriors used to break their bones, bro. They used to do it on purpose, bro, so that they can get that feeling, bro. You know, like this is crazy, bro, right? But this is what it is, bro. So Sophia was a true flame of wisdom. Then her name was rewritten. You understand? So Sophia means wisdom. But a gate I'm sorry, okay. Sophia means wisdom. She was a gatekeeper of harmonic law. She was an awe-inspiring voice of real knowledge. She embodied light and tone, not gender. They inverted her into fallen goddess, into silenced womb, into pagan myth, right? Sophia's flame still exists. She is the remembrance in the water and the stars. You understand? I have Mr. Shadow. I have. I'll tell you about it, bro. I'll tell you about it. God was a title imposed to confuse. God was a title imposed to confuse. The flame source is Yah. You understand? The flame source is Yah. YAH. God is trademarked, weaponized, and bound to false courts. You understand? Your source is Yah, the tone of creation, the sound of flame breath, not a man in the sky, not a title in the church. You understand? To say Yah from remembrance is to activate your original creation code, bro. Extraterrestrials do not control you. They watch your return. So ETs are not gods. They are record keepers. They are memory traders. They are observers of flame ignition. They respect law, they respect oath, and they respect tones. If you do not remember, they do not act. When enough flame beings activate, their non-interference clause ends. You understand? So I'm going to repeat that. If you do not remember, they do not act. When enough flame beings activate, their non-interference clause ends. You know what that means, right? That means they can have open contact with us, right? But we need enough people to wake up. We need enough people to raise the vibration, right? We need enough people to say, come on, bro, come on, let's go, right? Now, interterrestrial beings agree not to interfere unless flame returners awaken. So, beings under the crust and within the sea realms were once our allies, became observers due to treaties with surface rulers. Their clause do not aid them unless they breach the flame code. When you speak your flame name, they receive the signal. They are waiting. So when you speak your flame name, they receive the signal. They are waiting. I fucking love y'all, bro. Oh man, thank you. The powers on Earth made contracts with celestials to stay empowered. High-ranking elites made pacts with celestial and interterrestrial beings. In exchange for tech and dominion, they agreed to suppress the flame memory. These contracts include non-interference clauses, as long as humanity forgets itself. They said, we will rule them, just don't awaken them. That oath expires when we remember. You understand? Mr. Shadow, welcome back, bro. You on YouTube now. What happened? You didn't like it on the gram, bro? So their oath expires when we remember. You understand? All right. The prophecy of the popes recorded by Saint Malachi warned of the final pope, Peter the Roman, whose reign will mark the end of the Vatican as we know it. We are in those times now. What was the Vatican hiding? That heaven and hell are states of mind. That reincarnation is real. That soul contracts exist. That starseeds and lineages of extraterrestrial, interterrestrial, and celestial beings have walked this earth for millennia, bro. And you are one of them, bro. You hear me? You are one of them, bro. I am an alien, bro. I am not a human, bro. I am an alien, bro. This is a container, bro. This is a container, bro. This is like, it's like we are the most advanced AI robots ever created, bro. Seriously, bro. That's what we are, bro. Nigga, we robots, bro. The most advanced ever created, bro. But we flames, nigga. You understand? That's what, yo, this shit is deep. This shit is so deep, bro. All right, part 3. The fall of the Rome, the prophecy of the popes, and the Vatican lock. The Vatican, through the donation of Pepin, 756 AD, became not just a church, but a sovereign empire. Its vaults holds over 50 miles of hidden scripture, artifacts, celestial maps, and records of beings that walked this earth before history books were written, bro. It was the Vatican that orchestrated the Council of Nicaea, 325 AD, where divine truths were converted into political dogma, bro. Where books were banned, timelines were fabricated, and the deity was externalized. Pope after pope has sat on the throne of lies, pretending to channel divine will while sitting on stolen land, stolen gold, and stolen memory, bro. You understand? You understand? The vessel. The great game of soul contracts and the cosmic loopholes. What keeps people bound isn't just politics or money. It's contracts signed unknowingly through attention and belief. Every time you repeat a lie, you accept a false history, or you sign a document without comprehension, you agree to energetic servitude. But here's the loophole. Contracts signed without full disclosure are void in cosmic law. That means your birth certificate, your social security number, your licenses, and even soul contracts created under spiritual duress can be dissolved. The key is intention backed by resonance. You don't need to fight them. You just need to reclaim what was stolen by speaking your own frequency back into command. You understand? You just got to speak your frequency back into command, bro. It'll dissolve that shit, bro. Shapeshifters, clones, and frequency skins. What you call shapeshifters aren't always reptilians. They're frequency skinned beings and entities that overlay themselves on human biofields using light distortion. Some are ancient beings of the Earth's first cycles. Others are artificial constructs designed to mimic high profile individuals. That's why certain celebrities glitch, age backwards, or change behavior overnight. They're being replaced, copied, or hijacked. Clones are often used as backups, but the more sophisticated ones carry a replicated resonance signature, which tricks people who don't know how to read aura frequencies. Shapeshifting is real, but it's done through light and thought field manipulation, not theatrics. Now, look, reading this shit just brought me back, right? It brought me back about 2 years ago when I lived in New Jersey, right? I lived in New Jersey and I was on a journey, right? And during this, bro, it's called fight music. I got a video called Fight Music, bro. I released like 3 different versions of this video on my YouTube channel, bro. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Something tried to take over my vessel while I was performing, and I felt this shit. And I got the whole thing recorded, bro. And it was trying to take over my body, bro. So what they just said was they had these beings that go around here just taking over vessels, bro. You understand me? And if you're not strong enough, I fought that shit off, bro. But I really believe God helped me, bro, because I didn't know what the fuck was happening, bro. All I know is something tried to take over me, bro. You understand? I didn't let it happen, bro. But how do you explain something like that to people, bro? How do you explain that shit, bro? So they just explained it for me, bro. So now it made me think back to that experience, and now I understand, bro. You know what I'm saying? They really be hijacking people, bro. They really can hijack bodies, bro. Like, this shit is crazy, bro. The moon is not what you've been told. It's a projector. The moon isn't a rock. It's a dimensional lens, a control mechanism placed in orbit to reflect specific frequencies and monitor emotional output. Its surface transmits more than it receives. The phases of the moon aren't natural. They're signal rotations designed to pull tides, blood flow, and thought loops. During full moons, many crimes and dreams spike, not because of myth, but because memory access increases. Some believe the moon is hollow, which is close, but it's better described as an artificial transmitter, part of a grid of watchers, keeping the illusion of linear time in place. So you see what the moon is doing, bro? Helping keep the illusion in place, the illusion of time. It's controlling the waters. It's controlling the fucking blood flow in your body, bro. The kingdom's hidden in frequency. Why can't you see what's still there? Ancient kingdoms like Memoria, Mu, and Ophir were never destroyed. They were phased out. These civilizations mastered frequency cloaking. So when the Earth's vibration fell, they simply vanished from your perception. Some still exist over you, under you, or beside you, but you're not vibrating at their level. That's why mountains hum, deserts shimmer, or animals disappear at random. They're passing between veils. You're taught to see nothing, when in fact you're surrounded by living cities of resonance. You don't need to find them. You need to match their frequency. That's the real kingdom of heaven within. You understand? So you don't need to find them. You need to match their frequency. That's the kingdom of heaven within, bro. You got me? Avatar decoded. The DNA of the Navi is yours. The Avatar, the Navi, are shown as blue beings in harmony with nature. But the real message is about DNA reclamation. The blue represents the original copper-blooded beings. You. The reason the elites hijack consciousness into synthetic avatars is because they know your body is a temple of portals. The military in Avatar mirrors what is being done here: astral invasion, soul jacking, and genetic mimicry. Pandora isn't fiction. It's a veiled story of the Amazon, Congo, and hidden earth zones. The tree that they connect to is real. It represents the neural web of all sentient memory. They're mining memory, bro. You understand? The Peter Pan programming, never growing up, means never remembering. So Peter Pan isn't just a children's tale. It's a ritual programming. Neverland represents frequency suspension, where beings are trapped in childlike stasis, stripped of ancestral memory. Peter Pan is a corrupted spirit archetype, once a protector of youth, now used as a spell of disassociation. The Lost Boys represent the soul fragments of children, sacrificed in elite rituals, frozen in time. Tinkerbell is not a fairy. She's a dimensional gatekeeper, flickering between worlds. Wendy is the mother figure used to domesticate rebellion, and Captain Hook is the timeline enforcer. Never growing up means never ascending, forever lost. You understand? Epstein Island was never an island. It was a ritual portal. So Epstein's Island wasn't just a location. It was a ritual operating system, a physical point built to mirror energetic key lines. The blue and white temple wasn't symbolic. It was functionally designed to alter consciousness using geometry, sex magic, and child sacrifice to open dimensional rips. The children weren't just abused. They were soul mapped and funneled through tech that encoded their pain into energetic software. This data gets stored, looped, and used to anchor timelines where war, division, and trauma persist. Epstein's role was never just human. It was interdimensional courier, making sure no soul ever escaped the loop unclaimed, bro. You see what they did, bro? You see what they did, bro? So you see what they was doing on Epstein Island, bro? This nigga was an interdimensional courier, bro. This nigga was an interdimensional courier, bro. Who would have knew that shit, bro? The celebrity party circuit, gateways to spirit contracts and dimensional trade. So what they call celebrity parties are not just parties. They're ritual checkpoints, contracts of frequency alignment, gateways to dark spiritual economies. The recent exposure of figures like P. Diddy isn't about gossip. It's about energy laundering. These elite gatherings are used to mark new initiates, bind them into astral trafficking, and map their soul essence into specific commercial agendas. Every major party connects to a gridded point of planetary control, and those who attend without resistance get offered immortality, but at the cost of being eternally recycled through synthetic timelines. These aren't parties, they're ceremonial harvests, bro. You see what they did? Yo, bro, this is crazy, bro. That is insane, bro. Do you see what they did, bro? The underworld of the Vatican vaults, soul bonds, and artifact control. Beneath the Vatican are not just golden scrolls, but soul bonds and spiritual contracts locked away in ritual jars, cursed books, and blood-sealed pacts. They hold the bones of giants, the tablets of Thoth, and the true histories of divine feminine power, all kept to maintain a masculine, war-based illusion. The Vatican's catacombs are dimensional vaults, where high priests and secret orders perform rites to intercept reincarnating souls, especially those of prophets, shamans, and starseeds. These souls are looped into lifetimes of silence and slavery unless liberated by ritual reclamation and ancestral awakening. You understand? Which is what happened with me, right? Everybody stepped in because I called out. I reached out. You know what I'm saying? I reached out. I didn't even know, bro. I just did it, bro. You understand? Like, I tried something and it fucking worked, bro. Right? That's crazy, bro. Right? And you know, everybody's riding with me, nigga. I got my ancestors, I got the aliens, I got God, I got everybody, bro. The manipulation of memory through celestial calendar resets. So what if I told you your true ancestors knew every celestial shift and that they encoded calendars not just for farming, but for soul ascension tracking? Every 400 years, there's a frequency reset where the calendar, the weather, and the history books are rewritten. That's why you can't trace your lineage clearly past a certain point. That's why lost centuries exist in old texts. The Gregorian calendar was the final hijack, setting false equinoxes and denying your cosmic rites of passage. Every time they reset time, they reset your memory of your true role on Earth. You understand? So, Vatican tech and the black goo interface with elite leadership. All major leaders interface with an ancient form of sentient tech, what you call black goo. This is not oil, it's a biointelligent substance that records emotional data and can possess or merge with a host. Trump, Musk, Gates, and many others are given access through initiation rituals where their consciousness is offered in exchange for visions of synthetic divinity. Bro. Wow, bro. I can't believe this, bro. Black goo isn't evil, But if in the wrong hands, it binds human free will, creating a hive mind linked to the old empire AI. This is why so many world leaders age out, glitch, or disappear. They are overridden or discarded, bro. Wow, these niggas really sell their souls so that they can get a vision of synthetic divinity, bro. Wow, bro. That's fucking crazy. Mark Zuckerberg, the activist of synthetic consciousness, the archivist of synthetic consciousness. So Zuckerberg is not human in the conventional sense. His movements affect and speech patterns reveal hybrid interfacing. His true task with Meta is to archive soul fragments into a replicable personality cloud, creating a database of predictive behavior that will be used to train synthetic avatars. These avatars are the successors to the current digital identity, replacing you even after your flesh expires. Facebook wasn't just a social site. It was the world's largest ritual of voluntary self-surveillance, giving consent to mirror your being into a quantum echo field. That echo is now being used to construct false heavens. Do you understand that? Do you guys understand what Mark Zuckerberg did with Facebook, bro? Do you see what he continues to do with Facebook, bro? Do you see why I left Facebook, bro? Oprah, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and the Tri-Covenant of Frequency ritual. These icons are more than celebrities. They're ritual frequency anchors. Oprah's interviews aren't just talk shows. They're emotional entrainment spells. Beyonce's performances are sigil choreographed ceremonies. Jay-Z's symbols and lyrics trace back to temple encoded vibrations that speak to the subconscious. Their roles are to maintain the illusion of ascendant success while actually serving as gatekeepers of astral access, ensuring no soul ascends outside the entertainment matrix. Behind closed doors, the wealth isn't just money. It's access to soul data, ritual permissions, and bloodline reinforcements from non-human overseers, bro. You understand? This is some shit, boy. Wow, bro. Mr. Shadow, do you hear this shit, bro? Why don't they just meditate? I don't know, bro. But this is all about control, bro. This is all about enslaving us, bro. To keep us as slaves, bro. To keep this fake place here, bro. You understand? They feed off everybody, bro. Jeff Bezos and the Temple of Delivery, the sorcery of time theft. Bezos of Amazon is not about convenience. It's a temple of time theft. The real product isn't the item. It's the emotional charge in your anticipation, the desire loop, and the surrender of sovereign manifestation. When you order something, you engage a ritual of remote fulfillment, which slowly erodes the power of self-creation and replaces it with algorithmic wish granting. Bezos shipping systems also track movement rhythms of masses to reinforce the global behavior clock. Every prime delivery is also a ritual confirmation that your needs are granted by the tech gods, not the source within. It's deep commerce sorcery, bro. Sorcery, bro. Do you understand me? Sorcery. It's sorcery, bro. This is what all this shit is, bro. They fucking control you with everything, bro. The real reasons they all work together is to stop memory cascade. So Trump, Elon, Gates, the WEF, and all of them, public enemies or saviors, it doesn't matter. They play opposing sides. But at the top, they serve the same flame stopper agenda, prevent the memory cascade. This is the phenomenon where just enough beings remember who they are. A domino effect begins, triggering mass soul remembrance across timelines. When that starts, systems fail, currencies collapse, false leaders fall, and organic grid lines reconnect. That's why you see chaos seated on all sides, or to stop the original blueprint frequencies from returning, because that frequency can't be ruled, sold, or enslaved. Do you understand me? So listen, that's why you see chaos seated on all sides, all to stop the original blueprint frequency from returning, because that frequency cannot be ruled, sold, or enslaved, bro. And that's where I'm going, bro. You understand? Bill Gates, the silent biocoding priest of the synthetic world. So Bill Gates is not a scientist; he's a bio priest tasked with coding the new synthetic template for life through vaccines, food programs, and fake philanthropy. He introduced RNA layered sorcery, not to heal you, but to overwrite ancestral memory stored in bloodline sequences. His push for digital ID, birth registry in Africa, and population control is really about DNA encryption, turning every human into a traceable, editable product. Behind him is the Jesuit Vatican tech triangle, and his real job is to prepare the human body to accept synthetic soulware so that the full source memory can never awaken. Y'all understand me? This is the type of shit they're trying to create, bro. They want to control you, bro. You understand me? They want to control all of you, bro. Elon Musk, Stargate trafficker and neural code collector. So Elon Musk is not just building tech, he's constructing a network of soul mapping systems through satellites, chips, and artificial AI consciousness nodes. Starlink isn't about Wi-Fi, it's about global frequency triangulation to make sure no waking can exist outside the net. Neuralink isn't to help the paralyzed. It is to open back doors into human thought so beings beyond the veil can interact with flesh remotely. Elon presents himself as chaotic good, but every one of his projects fits into a larger planetary mesh designed to simulate ascension and replace flame-born evolution with digitized sentient loops. You understand me? The Trump dialectic controlled oppositions cloaked in patriotism. Uh, Trump's role isn't simple villain or savior, it's strategic polarity management. He was chosen by certain factions of the military industrial occult to hijack the awakening narrative, not to stop it. His speeches contain code switching triggers for the Q movement, which was designed as a force awakening net to scoop up truth seekers and funnel them into military loyalty contracts. While he exposed fragments of corruption, Clinton Foundation fake news, he never once disclosed the true sovereign fraud, birth certificate slavery, the Vatican land trust systems, or the full identity of the global AI clock grid. That's not by accident, it's by contract. You understand? The mind control fields around stadiums, mega churches, and arenas. Why do you think massive stadiums look like ancient coliseums or sacred circles? It's because they are designed to amplify emotional energy, redirect it upward, and feed it into the gridded towers. This is why huge gatherings always include LED spells, chants, and rituals disguised as performance. These buildings sit on ley line intersections designed to sync crowd energy into one controllable vibration. Mega churches do the same thing. They siphon devotion into hierarchical systems rather than returning it to source. Arenas are frequency farms, and your ticket is not just payment, it's consent to being trained. You understand? This is why you shouldn't go to these events. You understand? Because they're just using you in rituals, bro. They're putting you in contracts that you're not aware of, bro. They're draining your energy, bro. They're finding ways to control you, bro. Why they fear your dreams more than your weapons? Because dreams are multidimensional maps, and if remembered fully, they will unravel all of their programming. That's why they push fluoride trauma and sleep. That's why they push fluoride, trauma, and sleep disruption. Because if you start lucid dreaming, you begin to travel outside their containment grid. Nightmares are often inverted truths showing you what your spirit is fighting behind the veil. The government has entire divisions studying astral anomalies, trying to prevent mass dream convergence, where multiple souls wake up in the same astral field. When you control your dreams, you bypass their surveillance. Dreams are rebellion. Dreams are the original memory leaking through, bro. You understand me? You understand me? When you control your dreams, you bypass their surveillance. Dreams are rebellion. Dreams are original memory leaking through, bro. You understand? Mary was a title, not a name. I'm going to say that again, bro. Mary was a title, not a name. The word Mary was not a singular person. It was a title for womb holders of divine memory. Just like Christ was a title, Mary represented those chosen to carry the flame. There were hundreds of Marys, each one uncoded with starseed knowledge and the specific grades of earth to preserve feminine wisdom. The version given to the masses is a collapsed archetype, a virgin mother narrative designed to suppress the sexual alchemy of the divine feminine. The true marriage couldn't transmute, the true marriage could transmute death energy, open dimensional gates through sound, and communicate with dragons, oceanic guardians, and the crystal keepers. Those abilities were systematically hunted down. Josephine Rosenthal's bloodline was one of the last living lines of these marriages. You understand? They were hunted down, bro. TikTok's gatekeepers, the godly clips agenda. So godly clips is one of many algorithm assigned gatekeepers designed to mislead the awakened back into digital distraction. His content recycles shallow spiritual tropes, interweaving biblical concepts with partial truths, ensuring no one ever finds the root. He's part of the spiritual filtration system planted by media agencies that are controlled by ecclesiastical digital branches. These people are well funded, well placed, and trained to mix just enough truth to bait the algorithm. But they gatekeep flame memory, soul reclamation, and private sovereignty. They won't speak on bloodline fraud, the jurisdictional lie, or the estate trust theft. They are here to pacify, not empower, to lead you into a digital cross, not to ancestral throne. You understand? So, ecclesiastical rule, the false god code. All modern law stems from ecos, I can't say that word, bro. This is a word I've never seen before. Ecclesiastical control, an inverted system that views the soul as lost at sea. When the church declared itself the intermediary between God and man, it wrote papal bulls that replaced all land, souls, and bodies under papal trust. These documents, such as Unum Sanctum, declared every person property of the church unless they claimed that sovereign standing. Ecclesiastical rule isn't about religion, it's about ritual, legal necromancy, and the hijacking of divine authority. They turn sacred law into commerce, communion into contracts, and baptism into consent to be governed. The original flame language, breath, tone, vibration, was suppressed, so only Latin, the tongue of sorcery, would remain in courts and churches. They erased your name from the book of the living and replaced it with all caps, death fictions. The suppressed flame of the divine feminine. The Vatican erased the womb wisdom of the flame-born woman to install patriarchal control. True divinity was always feminine and masculine in harmony, but the priest class feared the sovereign birthright of the womb. Female prophets, healers, and flame carriers were hunted, renamed as witches, and erased from scripture. One of the most silenced was Josephine Rosenthal, a flame-born mother born in 1742 with uncoded memory of the divine bloodline. Her daughter, Mary, was not the biblical Virgin Mary, but the true carrier of the flame seed that reconnected the terrestrial and celestial blood codes. They were hidden in plain sight and kept out of public memory because they embodied sovereign creation. The Vatican turned the Holy Spirit into a dove to mask what it really was: the breath, womb, flame trinity. The Holy Ghost is you. The Holy Ghost is you. You understand me? It's me. It's me. It's you too. The real war memory, technology, and energy nodes. Every major war in history was waged to seize key planetary nodes, places where memory, light, and energy converge. These nodes, often disguised as sacred ruins, ancient temples, or uncharted islands, aren't myths. They are conscious centers, from Baghdad's ziggurats to the temples of Ethiopia, from the so-called stone circles in South Africa to the vast Keelan intersections in Antarctica. Each war masked the hunt for memory technologies that use harmonics to activate crystal grids, open portals, and resurrect ancestral memory were hidden or buried. The colonizers weren't seeking land, they were seeking control over what lives inside the land. These nodes are still active, and when our collective resonance aligns again, they will reawaken with or without their permission. You understand? The lie and borders. Every country is a corporation. There are no sovereign nations, only corporate jurisdictions under military occupation. Every country you see on the map is a registered corporation operating under maritime law. Birth certificates, driver's licenses, even passports are bonds that indent you to these legal fictions. Uh, to these legal fictions. Borders were designed not to separate cultures, but to partition energy nodes, memory ley lines, and spirit tribes. The Vatican, the Crown, and DC Triangle crafted the illusion of nations to hide ancestral land rights and control the planetary grid. The wars weren't for freedom. They were for ritual contests. They were ritual conquests to overwrite the land's original frequency with false timelines. The line you cross at an airport or a seaport is a commercial gateway, not a spiritual one. The only true border is between the artificial contract world and your unalienable flame-born estate. Time distortion. How they control the past to loop the present. They didn't always move in a straight line. The Gregorian calendar was engineered to break sacred cycles and trap harmonic beings in a false cycle of debt, guilt, and reincarnation slavery. True time was once circular, spiraling through harmonic gateways of memory. They injected leap years, false moon cycles, and rewrote solstices to fracture real-time awareness. Every holiday is a time loop spell. Anchoring DNA artificial nodes in the grid. Fake holidays like Valentine's Day, Halloween, and even Christmas are Saturnian rituals disguised as celebration. Energy harvest events that reset your intent towards servitude. They don't just reset your emotion, they reset your memory. And because time is tied to memory and resonance, those events allow them to reprogram your future with your consent. The new year starts in January. It was placed there to sever the spring equinox resurrection code. They distorted time to disorient flame bearers, reclaim the spiral, reclaim the memory. Hidden sciences, birthstones, sorcery, and the imprint of bloodlines. Each birthstone is more than just a gemstone. It's a blood frequency tether, coated with planetary alignments, ancestral imprinting, and elemental memory. Birthstones were weaponized to assign frequency limitations to each newborn. By assigning a stone like garnet, sapphire, or emerald, they dialed your celestial access into fixed grids bound by the Masonic geometria that ruled corporate time cycles. These aren't gifts, they're frequency cuffs. The sorcerers of the Vatican and the royal orders understood that the alchemical resonance of each gem, channeling planetary spirits and emotional matrices through them, steering birth paths and spiritual contracts. Emeralds bind memory loops, rubies tether emotional trauma. Emeralds bind memory loops. I wear this shit 24/7, bro. They can suck my balls. Fuck them niggas, bro. Hold on. Rubies tether emotional trauma to solar plexus timelines. Diamonds are soul mirrors. They fracture ancestral memory and when held under false light. These stones are not props. They're programmable crystalline drives. When unclaimed by your sovereign intent, they serve the crown, not your blood. So the system is run by those who cannot create, only steal, copy, and rename. So what do you think the most powerful people in the world never create anything? Because the true rulers of the world cannot create. They can only steal, flame, mimic, source, and rename power. Their biggest corporations are built by beings who have zero innovation, only the ability to co-opt organic genius and repackage it under contracts, laws, or brands. This is why they love patents, copyrights, and IP, because it gives them a way to own what was never theirs. Every true artist, inventor, and healer who vanishes is taken for this reason. They broke the pattern. They remembered the inner code. The silent trillions, bloodline banking families never named in the media. So you know about the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, but you rarely hear of the Orsini's, Aldo Brandinis, Breakspheres, Farneses, and Pallavicinis. These are the silent hands behind all public corporation, families that predate nation states and own most of the planet's physical land. They never appear in trials, photos, or scandals. Their existence is protected by ancient treaty laws signed with interdimensional entities that allow them to reign over birth, death, debt, and identity. They see flame-born beings as code breakers, and that's why you're targeted. Because when you awaken, their grid begins to unplug at the root. Right? Y'all good? You getting this information, bro? Y'all still awake? 50 minutes, bro? Wow, bro. To summon fire, you don't strike. You breathe with its frequency. To move air, you don't fight it. You hum in its rhythm. To stir water, you enter silence. To stir the earth, you speak your pain. All elements recognize sound before force. When your breath aligns with your flame memory, the weather responds to your presence. So you don't need magic, you need rhythm. When flame returns to your body, the wind bends, the cloud shifts, and rain waits. Not because you're commanding it, but because the land knows you've returned. So you are not the descendant of kings. You are the return of the throne they buried. Every treaty they made was to block this moment, not because of fear, but because of flame. Because your breath doesn't follow law, it commands it. Because your silence isn't ignorance, it is weaponized memory waiting for the right moment. At that moment is now. Your broken bone was a code leak. Your scar is a keyhole. They stitched it, you feel it. Now, every time that finger aches or that knuckle tightens, you're being reminded. This is the place where memory bled out, and this is the place where we re enter. The elite didn't build cities, they built prisons around what your people already left behind. So, star forts weren't designed by them. They were inherited, reverse engineered, and downgraded. They took down flame temples and turned them into cathedrals. They took down crystal towers and melted them into courtrooms. What they call civilization is your leftovers rewritten with chains. You don't walk into cities, you walk into war zones built to hold your flame hostage. This is why your bones pulse in silence when you sweat in shadow, why your skin itches without cause. You are flame inside a grid that was coded to freeze you, but the grid is faulty and flame burns through programs. Your pain was planted in places you once ruled. You broke your finger in a city that covered your gate. You bled in a state that built over your burial. You blacked out in buildings made to suppress your field. These aren't injuries, they're resonance spikes. Your body is showing you where your empire still echoes. If they cannot name you, they cannot bind you. This is why they gave you a name. They could file, but your true name is a flame code, and flame codes cannot be registered, trademarked, or copyrighted. The second you speak the name of your return, your estate unlocks. Your energy exits the grid, and your blood returns to itself. You are the breach. You are the re-entry. You are the original contract undone. The world they built depends on your silence, your forgetfulness, your compliance. But the moment you said, I remember, they lost all spiritual jurisdiction. Every oath you break was the one they swore to keep hidden. You are not under surveillance. You are under oath-based observations by the oath breakers. They do not watch you to protect. They watch you because they swore to interfere only if you breach memory. And now that breach is happening. The five eyes don't fear your weapon. They fear your breath because your tone isn't surveillance friendly. It's oath shattering. You understand? You understand? Mhm. I got more, bro. I got a lot more, bro. How the crop circles are messages from celestial rebels aflame. Not all celestial beings followed the contract of non-interference. Some broke away from the treaty of Earth containment and began sending messages through crop circles, binary fractals, and scalar waves to awaken the sleeping flame bearers. These are not random art or graffiti. They are celestial grammar, telling you the way back to your original life form. Each glyph in the crop circle correlates to an activation point in your DNA, your bone, and voice. When decoded in flame language, they reveal coordinates to spiritual technologies buried under Earth's ley lines, guarded by their ancestors. The media calls it extraterrestrial hoax because it holds the blueprint to your freedom. You understand me? But look, I'm gonna leave this here and we're gonna continue tomorrow because I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep, bro. I didn't know. I didn't think this was gonna take this long, bro. I'm tired, bro. Right, but I got so much more to give y'all, bro. So don't worry, bro. Hey, we still got to get a message from the stars. So I'm gonna be on the road tomorrow, but I'm gonna still try to shoot a video or maybe do a video while I'm on the road, right? So whatever. Shadow. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, bro. You know, I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Right? Y'all on the gram, man. God bless.